Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is my review for the original Season 2, Episode 15, They All Asked For You. Now, I know I said I wouldn't be able to do reviews this week, but as I said in my announcement video, guys, I am trying to do as much as I can this week. If you guys don't know why, it's because it is Tech Week for my musical, aka Hell Week, and I have, no time. So, my reviews this week are all out of whack. My review schedule is all out of whack. Everything like that is all out of whack, so I'm going to review what I can. If you guys think I'm going to be as consistent as I usually am, yeah, no, I can't do that. Most of my reviews are coming Saturday, Sunday. By then, I will be able to catch up to everything. So, I'm going to review what I can, and I watched the originals last night, so I have to review it. So, yeah, I'm going to review the originals. Bates Motel and Better Call Saul, I'll watch those on Saturday. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna put up one review per night, so you guys have some sort of content from me. But other than that, I can't really do my normal review schedule. So let's get into this episode because as usual, it was a great episode, which I mean, I expect that from the originals, really. I expect the originals to have a great episode because it's such a great show, and it hasn't given me a bad episode since I'd say season 1. Season 2 has yet to give me a bad episode. So let's just get into this episode because it was great as usual. So tonight's episode kicks off as the episode kicks off as Rebekah and Klaus chat about the awkward presence of Jackson and the lack there is of Elijah. And that's probably because Elijah decided to ally with Marcel, and Jackson's working with them more, which I found kind of interesting. So the three siblings are rambling on their three-way call, and Rebekah ends the call only to realize she's being watched and followed, and she's then closed and trapped by two men who tell her that she will die for what she's done, basically, which I thought this was just such an intense scene, a great way to start the episode, but a really intense scene here. They begin to attack her. However, Marcel swoops in to save the day, whisks her away, and he is now aware that Rebekah is trapped in another body. So I really like that he found out because, Marcel truly does love her. And, of course, Haley brought up the possibility of her still having feelings for Marcel. So they're really starting to set that up here. And I kind of like it, actually, because, Rebekah hasn't really had a lot to do. Well, she's had a lot to do since she's come back, but in terms of, her personal life, she hasn't had a lot to do. She was with Hope all that time. She didn't have time to have a love life, things like that. So maybe it might be time to get back together with Marcel, Maybe it just might be time. So I really like this episode explored that. So meanwhile, Freya and Finn are trying to figure out how they can get Finn's power back, and when Freya asks for their time alone with their father, Finn ventures off to drain his power, and he's, of course, because, Finn came back, he was brought back, but he doesn't have, his powers, so, and the person that does have power is Mikeal, so they're not letting her go, he's adamant on not letting her go, however, she persuades him and she has her way, so it kind of seems like they're going to do some things that they're both not okay with, but they're going to do them just simply because they have to. It's just a way of survival for them, so I find that kind of interesting. So meanwhile, Jackson and Klaus are arguing over what's the best measure is to save Hope, and I really like this conflict as well. They really don't know what to do about Hope. They're very conflicted here, and they have a lot of options, definitely, and I like seeing Jackson be so protective of Haley. I know a lot of people don't like Jackson and Haley, but you have to admit Jackson is great to Haley. He treats her like a princess. He's always there for her. You can't say that Jackson is not a bad, is not a bad husband to Haley. He's a great husband to Haley. He really is, because he's doing all of this, even though his hatred for Klaus, he's doing this because is also because of Haley, because Haley wants him to do this, and I really do like that. Now, I think the reason she sided with Klaus is because now that the whole wedding is over, she is going to side more with Klaus because she has Hope and everything, so she doesn't have to worry about that as much, and I like seeing that, especially the aftermath of her getting married. I really do like that. So, and plus, if Jackson wasn't working with Klaus and didn't listen to him, Klaus would probably kill him, because we know that Klaus hates Jackson. He still hates Jackson. He wants nothing to do with him. The only reason he's working with him is because Jackson is the leader of the pack. So, Marcel begins questioning Rebekah on why she didn't tell him who she was, and probably because they just haven't had a lot of time together and it's been awkward between them. I can understand why he's genuinely upset though, because I mean he's been really sweet to her. I mean, they had a relationship and it seems like she's forgetting about it. So despite him already knowing of her new body, he scolds her for spending time in the market. She was almost attacked, and just then, Elijah walks in, and Rebekah tells him that the witches wanted her dead, and Marcel gives him a lead to a witch named Josephine, who would be able to shine some light, and to shine some light on the matter at hand. So Finn continues to warn Freya before he leaves her alone with Mikeal, and Freya, because of course, Freya hasn't seen Mikeal ever. Because, Freya was a child that, of course, didn't live, and, now she's back and everything. So, Freya, well, I mean, she lived, but she was taken away by Dolly and everything, so she never got a chance to really meet Mikeal. So I like that he warned her about that. So Freya conducts a spell to awaken her father from his spell, induced sleep, and he opens his eye. Now, I knew this was coming. I knew eventually they had to wake up, and I really do like that they brought them back, because, I mean, Mikeal's a badass, and then we see something really interesting. We see Gia will be accompanying Elijah on his mission to find Josephine, and Elijah tells Gia that she's more than gifted than any artist he knows, and he needs her to convince Josephine that their kind is much better. So Gia makes a joke about Elijah needing a woman in his life in Carter words, and she also admitted to thinking that there was something between her and Marcel, but there's nothing there. Now, it seems like in this episode, it just seemed like here they're trying to get us to ship Elijah. And honestly, I'm all for it. Okay, I know everyone loves Elijah. I myself do love Elijah. I want that to happen. But guys, they confirmed it's Endgame. Okay, it's Endgame. But right now, they're allowed to see other people. Okay, especially because that whole thing that happened between Haley and Elijah. Haley does not want to be with Elijah. Okay, so if you guys, want Haley and Elijah to be together, just know that Haley's not going to be happy. And I don't think we don't want that. We want that. I want Haley to be happy. I do. It's that simple, guys. I want Haley to be happy because, if she's not happy, then that's not good. But honestly, this Elijah, I didn't know at first, but I'm all for it. I really am. I think that's a great idea. I think those two actually work very well together. And they had a lot of chemistry in this episode, I have to say. So, they want to do Elijah, I'm all for it. So Jackson's upset that he has to follow Klaus's orders and takes it out on his friend, and however, Klaus swoops in to offer some kind of advice to keep them all safe, which I thought was really good that he did that. So Rebekah admits to Marcel that she told her brothers not to tell him anything out of fear that she may want to kiss her, and Marcel brought Reuben Morris to try to identify Rebekah's body without telling him that the body is occupied by Rebekah. So Reuben asks if Marcel got the stuff he asked for and begins working on figuring out who Rebekah's vessel is, because they don't know whose body she is and things like that. They're very unaware of what's going on here. So Freya's grabbed by the throat, and she emotionally tries to help Mikeal realize that it really is his daughter. Again, he has not seen his daughter ever, so he has no idea that it is Freya. And it was kind of interesting what happened between her and Mikeal, because she managed to convince him, and he's in disbelief, and she tells him that she was taken by Dahlia and begged him to believe her. And we see this, kindness from Mikeal. We've never seen Mikeal anything but just, this tough guy. And for once, we actually saw him in a very vulnerable state. It's a very emotional scene, I have to say. And I really like that they did that, because it just shows that even these ferocious characters, they do have feelings. And I like that the show shows that, because they really depicted Mikeal as this, badass, which he really is a badass. But at the same time, even though he is a badass, he does have feelings, and I like this episode showed that. So that was a very good scene, and I definitely really like that, especially because he hadn't seen Freya in all this time. So Jackson walks in with a grilled cheese sandwich for Haley and offers to help her with Hope. She refuses because she's been out of Hope's life for so long. And she really wants to catch up with that because she wants to be with Hope, and she really wants to, she wants to take care of Hope on her own, which I can understand. I mean, Rebekah did such a great job of doing that. I don't think she doesn't want Jackson to help her. I think she just wants to make up for the lost time they had, which it's great that Haley now has Hope. I mean, she really is a great mother and things like that. I love seeing Haley take care of Hope. I really did. So Haley asks him what's going on with him, and he reveals they need to have sex before they can consummate their marriage, which I think really does make sense. I mean, one of the things you do when you get married is you do have sex. That's something that it will happen when you get married, and I like that Jackson brought this up because, yeah, they should be able to do that. I mean, they're married now, so yeah, they should probably do that. Now, she tries to make it happen and I like that she's all for it. I do. I like that Haley wants to make it happen, but Hope's crying and he is left once again. So, it didn't work out between them. So meanwhile, Reuben reveals that Rebekah's vessel was born with a dark side, and this was really interesting. Her old vessel was stealing children to harness power, and as soon as it was revealed, Reuben begins attacking both her and Marcel, and it appears that Reuben knew who she was all along and was waiting for the right moment to take her down. So whatever spirit is in here is an evil spirit, and I thought that was definitely very interesting when he said that, and I was very interested in seeing where that was going to go. I don't know if I exactly like possessed Rebekah, but I do kind of like Rebekah being in this body and not really knowing too much about it, because Rebekah, of course, Cole and Finn, they're so powerful. That's why nothing really that bad happened to them. I'm not saying Rebekah's not powerful, because she really is, but I just don't. She's not as strong as like Cole or Finn. She can't. She has this thing in her body, and I find that very interesting that happened to her. Now, my question is, did she have that all along, or is this just in her new body? Because if it's in her new body, this will be easy to fix. But I'll get into that. So Gia and Elijah arrive at the home of Josephine, who listens to Gia's beautiful skills. I have to say, Josephine, kind of creepy, honestly. I mean, the way Josephine talked, I was kind of creeped out. Josephine is impressed by what she hears. As viewers could tell from the look on her face, Josephine already knows they're both vampires, and though she is respected to Gia's talent, she's not pleased to be in their company. Because, of course, vampires are the one thing that they don't like. And I think that's the reason why Esther was not woken up in this episode, because she's a vampire, and what's the one thing that Finn and her both hate, and all of them? They hate vampires. So that's why I don't think they're bringing Esther back, because she is now a vampire, and I think that's why that's happening. So basically, Elijah asks her to reconsider. However, she tells him that the vampires are all liars, and we actually I kind of see their point, honestly. They wear the skins of humans. They're monsters wearing the skin of humans, and I kind of do see your point. I mean, vampires are very rough. I can definitely see your point there. And she's continuing his attack on Eva Sinclair. And, basically that is Rebekah's real name. So Reuben says that, and basically Rebekah tells him who she really is and fights back. And so now we know that Rebekah has this evil spirit in her named Eva Sinclair. So Gia opens her mouth and tells Josephine that she isn't the queen. She says she can't believe that she learned to play with Beethoven, and Josephine's curious and allows her to play a jazz piece, and Gia actually says Elijah and Josephine offers to help them out, and Mikeal is, so I thought that was really good that Josephine did help them out and Gia was able to convince her. Again, tons of chemistry between these two, really, you can see that. So Mikeal's on the loose, and basically he's in Klaus's house. Before he can attack Aiden, Freya stops him and moves onward. So Elijah presents Josephine with the photo of his sister's vessel, and Josephine said that she wants Finn's vessel in return. Now Elijah gladly agrees to this, and Klaus is out looking for Finn when he comes face to face with in the graveyard. However, baby Hope is now unprotected from Mikeal and Freya back home, because of course they know where Hope is. So Hope is wherever. They don't know where exactly she is. They just know that she's unprotected, because of course they didn't go to the wedding. So they do have that advantage. They did not go to the wedding, and I thought that was I'm happy they didn't go to the wedding, because they don't exactly know what's going on. So Finn approaches Klaus and tells him that he is foolish to challenge him in a place where the elders hate him more than Finn, and Finn attacks Klaus, who fights back and condemns his brother for killing Cole. And this was an amazing scene. He attacks, and attacking baby Hope, and before Klaus can do any more, because of course, Finn killed Cole, and Klaus is pissed at him about that. I like that there's no really progression made with that in this episode, because they're not going to find a body right away for Cole. I think they're not going to really focus on that till probably like the very, very, very end portion of this season. I think that's when that's going to happen. So then we see it's almost surreal. We then see that, we see, wait, where was I? Okay. So before Klaus can do any more harm to Finn or his vessel for that matter, Elijah steps in and stops him. So, and again, Elijah stops and it really just shows how against each other Elijah and Klaus are. So meanwhile, Rebekah managed to save herself and Marcel from Morris, but she was not lethal in doing so. And Marcel tells her that he wished she was back with him, and even though he wishes that, he was happy that she led to a life she wanted. And I like that he said that, because I like that he's not just like, get back together with me, get back together with me. I like that he's like, you know what, I'm happy you had the life you wanted, because you could have had a terrible life and you didn't. And the two of them really do share a moment, because Rebekah then thanks him for caring about an old flame. And I mean, most times when you have an old flame, you don't give a shit. So I like that he actually cares about her, and I thought that was really good. So Elijah and Klaus are going back and forth about killing Finn. Again, it really just shows their different mindsets. Elijah's much more verbal, while Klaus will just get stuff done like that. And Freya interrupts and removes Finn from his vessel, and she reveals to Klaus and Elijah, along with an offer of a deal, and it's almost surreal that their older sisters now come along to shake things up. And she's offering a deal after freeing the father that put Klaus's life and the rest of his siblings in jeopardy. Now, Finn, who has been such a ruthless threat, is now rendered helpless, trapped inside an amulet, safe from any harm that can come at the hands of Klaus or Elijah, and that's really interesting when we saw that. So now Freya basically is taking over, and it makes sense. I mean, once she's older and things like that, I can totally understand why she's taking over, because a witch is much more powerful than what Finn is. So Freya quickly quiets Klaus when he accuses her of siding with Finn and threatening Hope, and Freya opens their eyes to a truth and tells him she means Hope no harm. And I thought that was interesting when she said that. She's proposing to help him kill Delia and actually keep Hope safe. And Klaus is completely enraged about this when he hears that Mikeal is part of the plan, because that's the one thing he doesn't want, is for Mikeal to be part of the plan. So Elijah accepts his sister's identity, but he does not trust her. Now, I don't trust Freya's word, definitely. But I do see her points, that they can't just kill people left and right, that they should at least find out more about them. But Klaus does not want to work with Mikeal, and he's not going to work with Mikeal, okay? You can tell him you can convince him anyway. He's not going to work with Mikeal. It's that simple. They had all those fights and everything. There's no way Klaus would work with Mikeal. I know that for a fact. I know Klaus would. That is the one thing Klaus would never do. Okay, there are a lot of things he's done that I'm shocked that Klaus done, but he would never work with Mikeal. So she vows to earn his trust and leave him, possibly to go after Klaus, and Haley tries to calm Hope, and Jackson takes over to give her a break. So he manages to quiet Hope while giving her the rundown of what happened to one of their own at the hands of Mikeal, and Haley is stunned that Jackson got Hope to stop crying, and it apparently triggered something in her, because the two finally have sex, and you actually feel happy for them, because he wanted that, and now they can have sex and everything, and really their marriage is really starting to heat up. So I thought that was really good. So Rebekah and Marcel go over the crimes of her vessel, and he invokes a sort of sexual tension between the two, bringing up the fact that she won't kiss him, and you can definitely see there's going to be this sexual tension. I can see it now, and I kind of like it. I think it's fun, and I like that this sexual tension is here now. So Klaus returns to his baby, and Haley walks in to let him know that he can thank Jackson for the quiet, and Klaus alerts her that Finn is gone, but Mikeal's alive, and he asks her for her help of her pack line. However, when she refuses to give up, another member becomes angry, as always. Another member, he becomes angry, as always. So upon his aggression, Haley threatens to leave and take Hope with her if he ever uses Hope as a tool of manipulation. Which I like that he said that, because of course, the one thing that he cares about is Hope, and he does not want Hope to be manipulated. There's no way that Haley would do that. I don't think Haley would ever try to manipulate her daughter. I mean, she's gone so far to just be with Hope, and I don't think she would just manipulate Hope now. There's no way that Haley would do that now. So this next scene was very surprising, but again, I'm all for it. Gia and Elijah return after having Finn's body returned. Elijah tells Gia she did a nice job after she asked for it. And Elijah and Gia seem to be in agreement that she was the one to seal the deal. And Gia is now making a move on Elijah. Just all of a sudden, she's like, "Can you help me?" Her like dress is unzippered, and she's like, "Can you help me take it off?" So they end up having sex, and I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know if this is just a one night stand or if they're going to continue a relationship, but if they are, again, I'm all for it. I like these two together. Gia cares about Elijah. She wants him to have a good love life. And I don't know if Elijah's just doing this because he wants to be with someone or if he truly does care about Gia. I don't know. I think truly he loves Haley. Definitely you can see that. But of course, he knows he can't be with Haley. So I think to him, G is just the next best thing. I don't know if she feels bad for him or if she truly does love him. It kind of seemed just like sudden, but I think she does feel bad for him in a way. She does feel bad for him, and I definitely like that, and I like where this is going. So you can see that, Elijah's happening, and so is Jaylee, which I'm fine with both of them. I think Jackson and Haley are great together. I have no problems with them. And Gia and Elijah, they really are similar, and especially because Elijah's working with vampires now, I really do like that. So Klaus at the end narrates them and promises that a new day is coming, and he and Aiden are having a drink where he tries to convince Aiden, and I like that he did this, because the Wolves do need a new leader, and someone chosen by the Wolves, someone like him, he vows to help Aiden become the leader in exchange for his daughter's safety, because he really does not trust Jackson. Jackson and him don't agree at all, and I think it's good that he doesn't want to work with Jackson just because of the fact that they clash so much, and basically, so Aiden might become the leader to help him with Hope's safety, because that's what he cares about, is his daughter's safety. And it kind of seems like Haley doesn't right now, but I definitely feel like she does. Rebekah awakens in the night, and then this last scene was amazing. She wanders off at night, she runs into two children, attacks them both, and she's already possessed, and Eva has already taken over, and that's the way the episode ends. So, Rebekah's possessed now, and shit's gonna go down, and I can't wait. Overall, guys, once again, another great episode. I wouldn't say it was an amazing episode because it was just a building episode. Really, now this was a building episode. I mean, Finn's gone, Mikeal's in, and I love that. I mean, Finn was awesome, but now having, now having Mikeal in the mix, things are definitely going to get interesting now. Do you think that Freya genuinely wants to help Hope? I don't know. I think I kind of trust her. I kind of don't. I really don't know with Freya. She's really giving us mixed signals here. From what we've seen, there's no way I trust her. However, I do kind of feel like she has a point with what she's saying. I just don't feel like she wants to help Hope. After all this time, I don't think she wants to help Hope. Especially with Mikeal in the mix. Mikeal's not going to let her spare Hope. He's going to kill Hope, okay? He doesn't want Klaus to be happy. He doesn't want any sort of happiness in Klaus's life. So, definitely, he is going to do whatever he can to kill Hope. And as I said, Mikeal's agenda is above everyone else's. What Mikeal says, that's what goes. I've said this many times before, and that's what's going to happen, is that Mikeal is going to tell her what to do, and she's going to listen to him because that's how Mikeal works. Mikeal has an agenda. Mikeal gets stuff done. That's how things work. I mean, look at what happened with Davina. Look at what happened there. Yeah, it's that simple. So even though Davina controlled him, I don't think Freya's going to be able to do that, because even though she's so powerful, I don't think can do that. I really don't think she's going to be able to do that, especially because he hasn't seen her in such a while, and she's trying to convince him to work with her. She's going to have to listen to him. She thinks she can lead, but Mikeal's going to end up leading. Now, as far as Klaus and Aiden go, I think Aiden is the perfect leader to be part of the pack, definitely. I think he's perfect for that, and I think it's good that Klaus considered him for that, because I think he would be really good for that. Gia and Elijah, as I said, I'm all for Elijah, and I really am for Haley and Jackson as well. This episode, yeah, totally, I want them together. If they want to get them together, go ahead, because I really do like the idea of these two couples together. I think they are great, and I love the idea of both of them. They both are fantastic. Klaus and Elijah kind of seem like they could be in a bad place right now, just because of how different agendas they have. I think for the rest of the season, they're definitely going to be split. Like, they're not going to be working together. They're going to be working for separate things. We didn't see Davina in this episode, no Cammy, but it honestly didn't bother me, because again, this was a building episode. Now, as far as Rebekah, I don't know what's going to happen with her. But now Eva's taking over, and this is not going to end well with Rebekah. How's Marcel going to feel about this? I don't know. I mean, they were just starting to get very close, and already Eva's taken over. So Rebekah really is screwed over by this, and Marcel's going to be screwed over. And it's not going to end well for either of them. I mean, they were just getting so close and everything that if they want to get Rebekah and Marcel together as well, I like that as well. But they have to get this demon out of Rebekah first. My question is, was Eva there before Rebekah was possessed? Or is she just there, went to a new body? Or is she just there because Rebekah merged into a body and it was a side effect of what Cole did to her? Is that what's going on there? Also, are there really any plans to find Cole's body? We haven't heard anything about it. But of course, Rebekah promised Davina she would find Cole a new body. So I don't think that's her agenda right now because, she's possessed. But after this whole storyline goes away, I definitely feel like we're going to focus on Cole. Because I know people are asking, what's going to happen to Cole? Why aren't we focusing on Cole? I think after this, then we're going to focus on Cole. I think that's really what's going on there. I don't think we're going to see Davina for a while because of the fact that we don't need to see her right now. The reason we saw Davina before is because she was working with Cole. But I don't think we're going to see her for a while because she's not really in the mix right now. So, I mean, even though she's working with them, she kind of is split between Klaus and Elijah at this point. So that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Overall, guys, I thought this was another fantastic episode. As usual, I always love the originals. I have yet to see them give me a bad episode this season. And again, guys, I don't know what my next review is going to be. I really don't. I'm going to try to watch Justified tonight. I am, because I want to at least review that. I do want to get that review up, but other than that, guys, I don't know what else I'm going to be able to review. We will see what happens. We'll see what I'll be able to review, but other than Justified, I don't know what I'll be able to review tonight. We'll just have to see what happens. As again, I'm trying to put up one review a day. It's going to be kind of a crazy week. I mean, it's tech week. We're supposed to get out at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock yesterday. We got out like 10:30. It's hell, but whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be for some. I don't know what it's gonna be. It'll probably be for Justified because my review schedule is all out of whack this week and it's not gonna be in order. So get ready for that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.